Hey Connect Group people, so we're putting these videos together to help you as either a Connect Group leader or a prospective Connect Group leader to understand a bit more about what a Connect Group looks like, how they operate, what are some of the rhythms and patterns we really want to see happening well in them. And so in the previous video we spoke a little bit about what a Connect Group is, and this one we want to address a little bit about what does a Connect Group actually do. What does a meeting look like? So Grant, I'm going to ask you that you've been part of this, you kind of instigated this. So we know they're unigendered, we know that they're really small, up to 4 people. At 5 you really want to start splitting those groups out, multiplying them, giving life to other groups. So those 4 or 5 folk meet. Where do they meet? What does it look like? Run us through that.
So I think there's 2 options. Obviously the one is to meet in person. So I know that there are Connect Groups in the life of the church. They meet for a cup of coffee, meet for a beer. Can't do beer at the moment, but
well, I don't know. It depends if you have it home.
Yeah, if you've got a stock, a stash. But either meet in person or online. So my group meets online. We use Zoom. We meet for an hour. I think most groups seem to be meeting for roughly about the hour. I think the ladies' groups are a little bit longer.
I suspect.
But they meet for about an hour. So I think those are the two key things at the moment. It's the time, it's short. The online obviously is accessible from anywhere. So a business guy goes to Joburg, he still joins us. And the in-person, you can move it in the week. So I've got to go to kids' thing at school on a Wednesday morning, we'll move it to Thursday morning.
The agility for me is so crucial. I think, life group, most of our life groups are sort of, 5 or 6 couples, upwards of, 15, 18 people with kids, trying to move whole family, dynamics from a Wednesday night to a Tuesday or to a Thursday for me is almost impossible, where, like you say, a Connect Group is so agile and so flexible.
It is.
So, especially for the guys that have never been part of a Connect Group, they've probably been some part of a life group or a home group. So we arrive at the coffee shop. Run us through sort of, I guess, what are some of the must-have waypoints? We arrive, and if I'm leading that meeting, what are some of the checkpoints I really want to get us through on the day?
So we try not to do it like an agenda. We've got these items we've got to tick off, and every week, there's 5 things. We've got 5 boxes, but I think there's a few things we want to hit over a season. Say over a month. There's a few things every time you want to do. So we always start with how's it going? What's happening in your life? How's your family? A little bit of catch-up. Bearing in mind you've got an hour, so there's not a lot of waffle. So how's it going with you? We talk about what God's doing in our life, what scripture you're reading at the moment, what's happening in your quiet times, where's God speaking to you. We talk about that. We want to talk about where's your growth point at the moment. So out of this discussion today, in the next week, what do you want to be obedient to? What action, what activity, what do you want to shift in your life? And then, of course, there's some accountability around that in the next time we meet. So last time you said you're going to go to your secretary and you're going to just say, I want to pray for you this week. Did you do that? So there's some accountability that will happen on a regular basis. And then, of course, we challenge one another to share what it is that we're learning with someone else. So find someone else that you're going to talk to. It might be your spouse, it might be your kids. Might be someone at work, someone you cycle with, but just share something of what you've learned or taken away out of this week's session.
Yeah, I think the real value for me of the Connect Groups is that, in my experience of life groups is we've struggled generally to get to those levels of vulnerability, and especially when you've got 8 or 10 or 12 people around the table, it's almost impossible to share more than a few moments. Yeah. And it's easy for at least that quieter, more introverted personality to withdraw from the interaction and the group dynamic. And I think the value of meeting small, and so, for us, the kind of right number in a Connect Group is 3 to 4. The moment is, I want to bring my mate along and make this 5. It's actually, let's find another one and make it 6 and multiply that into 2 groups of 3. Because that when it's 3 or 4 people over a cup of coffee, we can probe deeply and ask the hard questions and really listen. And not have to rush, and I think that's really crucial. So those are really helpful waypoints along the way.
Sorry, the one thing I didn't that I left out is that we ask each other every week, what can I pray for? So it's not just that hour a week, but there's a sense of I'm praying for William, for his workspace around this in the next week, and so that sense of connection with each other in the space in between, that you are actually praying for each other for the things that are going on in your life. So for us, that's something we hit every week. That's one of the things we will do every week. What can I pray for?
Yeah, I mean, our aim is to at the end of the day make disciples, and so it's not just about teaching information, but it's about teaching obedience. That's what Jesus says: "Go and make disciples and teach them to obey everything I've commanded." And so we really want to help shape and nurture each other, and that's, I think, what the reason for those kind of waypoints along the journey each week is to ask those probing questions: How are you? What's God doing in your life? What scripture are you reading? Can I pray with you for this? Can I pray for you in the coming week? And then who are you sharing this with? Because ultimately the gospel can't stop with us. If the gospel stops with us, we just haven't grasped the gospel. And so we're really hoping that these connect groups multiply out, that we have the whole neighborhood and in fact the broader area of Belleville and Cape Town covered by various groupings of people who are meeting in community, drawing the lost, and helping them find faith, and then discipling them up and sending them out. That's our dream, and that's our hope. So thanks for listening to this video. We will send you another one shortly. We're going to be keeping these things on the forefront of your attention, keeping you empowered and enthused, and really getting you pumped up for ministry for the gospel. God bless you.